You're on it.
And now we're good. All right, cool. So I'm going to go over a couple things. For those, I see some names on here, some familiar names that are using Rave already today. So there's a couple things in here that may be news for you, some updates that you should be aware of. But also, if you've heard of us, like me or Dave Walsh over here has called you guys and you're wondering what Rave does, this should answer some of those questions for you. And then if it's been me that's calling you, here's a little bit about me. Been with Rave, working in the healthcare emergency management space now for over 5 years. So that's what I do. I work just with healthcare emergency management teams, typically in the eastern half of the U.S. So always enjoy working with emergency management folks in healthcare. It's been an awesome 5 years. And then I'm a father of 2 girls, Lila 2.5, Harper 3 months right there. You can see some bags under our eyes. Harper was the result of a 3:30 in the morning trip to the local hospital here, Milford Regional. We live up in Massachusetts, so New England are here for life. That's where we're also headquartered here at Rave too, just out of the Boston area. So for those that don't know too much about us, we've actually been in the public safety emergency management space for over 16 years, providing solutions to emergency management folks to help them prepare for and manage emergencies and to communicate and coordinate with people, in this case, staff that you need to coordinate with during those emergencies and during drills. The healthcare space where I spend all of my time, there's actually over 300 healthcare systems and organizations using this platform that I'll talk a little bit more about. And we're actually one of 3 vendors in our space certified by Department of Homeland Security on their anti-terrorism technology list. So why is that important in the least? Well, the big component, the most widespread component of our platform is our emergency and mass notification system. The folks that are on the call, I'm going to assume, are using something for mass notification, right? I've heard emergency and mass notification systems described by folks with your title as one of their babies, one of the tools that they rely on and need to make sure that it's working and ready to go in case it needs to be activated for any of the various reasons that the tool's in place to help you deal with. And there's some components of our platform that have been developed over time, over the last 16 years that we've been doing this, to help with some other areas of emergency management that I'll touch on here too. But mass communication, emergency notification is kind of like the core of what we do. And I'm going to rely on some videos to help kind of.
When it comes to mass notification, emergency coverage is key. If there's a tornado or a wildfire, active shooter, medical emergency, or local alert where time is of the essence, getting the right message to the right people at the right time.
Sorry, click the button. Shouldn't have done that. Oh no. That's why you don't click buttons. Let's see if this works.
When it comes to mass notification, emergency coverage is key. If there's a tornado or a wildfire, active shooter, medical emergency, or local alert where time is of the essence, getting the right message to the right people at the right time is critical. But what about the countless events that aren't emergencies at all? What about a parking ban or, I know, a building closure? Yeah, let's say it's final exams, and last night, the chemistry professor missed that one detail while setting up his final exam. You've tired people coming off of all-nighters and about 40 classes whose exam location has to change. And you have to notify these groups immediately, accurately, and in a way that they can't miss it. With Rave Alert, you can fly into your templates, confirm some information, and send. Mission accomplished. Wait, was that too fast? Let's recap. Rave Alert is optimized by any permitted user to send an alert quickly and easily. Out of the gate, that user's message templates are right in front of them. Now, on to save the day. Building closure, there it is. Let's just update the message. The Norton building is closed due to unsafe conditions. All scheduled activities have been moved to the Bain Center. Great, now what modes to send? We need to make sure everyone is going to see this in time, so all modes on. Check. Now, recipients. Let's make sure everyone affiliated with the Norton building gets this message. And for good measure, let's include the Bain Center too. Okay, continue. Everything looks good. It's going to send text, email, voice, social media, all of the push notifications. Cap for the digital signs. Check, check, check. Okay. It's ready to go, so I'm going to hit send. And now I can check the report to see how it went. All of those nervous, overtired students and employees, just like you, they got it covered. Want to learn more? Reach out to us today to find out how Rave is the product you buy for an emergency that you wind up using every day.
So more of a higher ed use case, right? But I think you get the idea. You're all probably really familiar with how an emergency notification system works, probably a similar workflow. There's another component to the platform that, or a module that can be leveraged as well for another mode of communication, desktop alerts. In healthcare, right, staff are busy, busier now probably than ever. And so, you know, reaching them on their phone, while it's effective for a lot of staff, sometimes isn't the best way for those time-sensitive scenarios. So a desktop alert can really help to make sure that you're covering all of your bases, again, for those time-sensitive scenarios. So a desktop alerting tool can help with that.
Having the ability to provide critical alerts across all devices is essential. The Rave Notifier for Desktop feature enables organizations to instantly deliver notifications via desktop, in addition to SMS, voice, email, and other modes, and send all notifications through one system. Let's take a look at how simple it is to send a desktop notification with Rave Notifier for Desktop. Here we see the administration console for Rave Alert. To send a desktop notification, we will select one of the templates configured to use desktop notification mode. For our example, we will choose Active Shooter by clicking Send. Here we see the configuration settings for this notification. We will go into these in more detail a bit later. For now, we will assume all configuration parameters to send a desktop notification have been set in advance. We select Continue, review the notification to be sent, and select Send this alert. The desktop message is then displayed with company logo, color branding, as well as date and time stamp. At any time after the notification is sent, we can right-click on the Rave icon in the system tray and select Alert History for information on recent alerts. We can also click on Open Alert Report and the magnifying glass opposite the desktop icon to get more notification details.
Okay, I'm going to ask John Lemansky to re-record that one with a little more zest in his voice. So we'll work on that for next year's presentation. And then, so the last component, or I guess second to last component that I want to at least paint a picture of for everybody is the emergency communications piece of this we covered. There's also some ability to standardize response to certain scenarios that you all are preparing for, right? And that could be something like a power outage, a network outage, or something worse like a bomb threat or an imminent threat to staff safety, whether it's weather related or related to man-made event. And there's standard responses, SOPs, that are built out in most cases for how we're supposed to respond to that, right? And whether you're a one hospital health system or a multi-hospital health system and trying to standardize, here's what to do when this occurs. We've got an area for you to kind of lay it out beforehand. Here are the tasks that need to be completed when this event occurs. And even a step beyond that, here's the group of people that need to be in charge of managing this event and be provided this list of tasks, the people that need to actually work on these tasks. If you know who they are ahead of time, great. As soon as your event is kicked off in Rave, whether that's by somebody manually kicking it off or one of your templates, your mass notification templates for a power outage as an example, once that's activated, that can actually kick off these tasks to be assigned to the stakeholders, the folks that need to help you in managing that situation. So instead of continuing to talk about it, we'll show you one more video.
Being able to react to the unknown and think differently when it comes to safety and security is more important now than ever. The Rave Collaborate solution helps you do all you can, regardless of the event type, to prepare for, take action during, and track activities after an incident. Whether a routine situation like a monthly drill or weekly security evaluation, or a more serious event like an active assailant that requires emergency response, there are many key stakeholders involved, critical tasks to carry out, and important decisions to be made. Here, a Rave panic button activation indicating there's an active assailant on campus has triggered an event within Rave Collaborate. This event automates assignment of critical tasks, launches immediate communications such as conference calls, and provides access to pertinent resources for the incident. Let's take a look at the various components of the incident collaboration tool. First, all tasks are oriented for the entirety of the incident, assigned to individuals who will be notified via text and email of their responsibilities. We also have all of our communications templates that are assigned and associated with this particular type of an incident, right at your immediate fingertips to be able to launch additional communications as needed. And resources. Resources could be in the form of informational sharing, like reunification tools or parent reunification plans, or different views into access into different solution capabilities offered within Rave, like the Rave command view and its status check capability, allowing for immediate feedback from field level individuals who are being impacted by a particular incident, allowing for an understanding of what is happening on scene. And lastly, within all incidents, we want to be able to look back and see where we stand within the incident itself, but also over time be able to provide a certain level of review of the activities, when and by whom they were conducted. Full reporting capabilities are also available. And lastly, important for after action plans is a full detailed report of all activities within a particular event, time-stamped, by whom those activities were impacted, and any notes or information that may have been valuable at the time are available for review. Rave provides a seamless solution to address these needs and to be a partner that allows you to think big.
Okay, we can move on from that. You don't need to hear the last little bit of the sales pitch there. And the last item to kind of bring us home that I think I want to make sure you all are aware of. We don't, the tools that we've made over the last 16 years, the modules that we've built off of this have been there. We're not out there guessing what you guys need. It's based on feedback that we get from you all about what would be helpful based on events that occurred. We're hopefully we're communicating with you and figuring out how we could have been better or what worked. Our events that we host regularly and getting feedback from folks like what we're doing here today. And one of the other components that is useful in the healthcare space is this concept of an employee engagement or an employee safety app that allows you to put some tools into the hands of your staff that they can use to better protect themselves and to better just improve overall campus safety or organizational safety. I won't go through all of them, but a couple of tools that I think I'll highlight are going to be something like an emergency call button or a panic button that would allow a staff member to indicate that they are in distress, whether they're on site and they can notify your on-site safety and security folks, or they're off-site doing something like a home care visit and they need to alert people back at home base that something's going wrong with a patient or a family member of a patient where the staff member feels unsafe. Instant location data from their phone will be shared directly with a central dashboard that in the case of your security department would be up and running and the security teams on their screen in the background somewhere. So when it happens, they can pop right over to that screen and see who the employee is, where they are. There's also a voice-to-voice call placed between the employee's phone and the security desk at that time. There's also a safety timer or a virtual escort tool that's designed to allow employees to proactively, before they go into a situation that could be deemed unsafe for one reason or another, allows them to kind of say, hey, over the next, whatever it is, 15 minutes, I'd like to have, the security department watch over me. So if they're walking to their car on their own late at night, like a lot of healthcare staff have to do, they've got the ability to activate this beforehand. And essentially what happens is if they don't check in when they say that they should, a notification will go to the right folks within your organization to let you know to check on them. So you'll know who they are, the staff member, and you'll know, again, GPS from their phone of where they are. So you can dispatch your own resources if that's appropriate to try and go and check on them, or even try and reach the staff member directly with the information in their profile, their cell phone number, et cetera. And anonymous tips or text with security, 2 ways of describing the same tool, which is a tool that allows employees to submit information into you all if they see something that's worth reporting. So that could be a bag left unattended in a walkway or an entry point, or a suspicious person walking around campus that they want to let you know about. That can even open up a 2-way text chat. So if your security team is kind of triaging these reports, they can actually write back to the staff member and ask them, for example, for a picture of that bag that they are reporting to be left unattended. So that's it. I'll wrap up there. And if there's any questions, answer them. Otherwise, I'll give it back to the AHEB team.